2,000-strong Meitei mob has allegedly torched an ambulance in front of police on Imphal's outskirts on Sunday, burning alive a 7-year-old boy, his mother and a relative who were being taken to hospital with bullet injuries. Meanwhile, people from Manipur's Kuki community held a protest outside Union Home Minister Amit Shah's residence here on Wednesday against the ongoing violence in the northeastern state. 4 of the protesters were allowed to enter the Home Minister's residence for a meeting, and the rest were shifted to Jantar Mantar. The Home Minister has set up a peace plan for Manipur, and the big question, of course, is that working? Let me quickly bring in Major General Sudhakarji at this point, a geopolitical expert. We also have Major Mohammad Ali Shah, defense expert, joining us live. Bhagat Oinam, Meitei JNU professor, is also live with us. Gladi Vaipai is also with us from the Kuki community. She is a housewife. Let me quickly bring you in here first, Major General Sudhakarji, on what you make of this. Okay, I think we've lost Major General Sudhakarji. Major Mohammad Ali Shah, let me draw you in here if you can hear me on this latest round of violence. Obviously, the Kuki community pretty upset, holding these protests at outside the Home Minister's residence after a mob from the Meitei community burned down this ambulance.
Yes, Uday, most certainly. You know, this has come to the light, and I am very sorry. I have my deepest condolence to the Singh family for this. I don't have words for this loss, Uday. And you know, it's not just the first family which would be affected like this. Both the families from both the sides, Meitei side, from the Kuki side, they are affected. And the thing to note over here is, Singh, who was 7 years old, his mother, Meena Singh, who was 45 years old, who was accompanied by one of their aunts, Lydia Lundberg, who was 37 years old. In fact, they are Meitei Christians. So people who are under the impression that Meitei is the Hindu community, yes, it's a dominantly Hindu community, but the Meitei community also have the Christians in them. They also have a few Muslims with them. So when churches were burnt of the Kuki community, they were churches of the Meitei community also burned. The temples were also burned. So this violence has to stop. And I will just make everyone go blind. Simple as that. You know, it is very, very, it's very distressing. It's very, very painful, especially Uday, you know, especially for a person like me. I have deep attachment towards Northeast, and especially Manipur. I started my schooling, in fact, as a small 3-year-old boy in the Northeast. I grew up there. I have played football with my best of friends have been Manipuris. I have served there as ADC to the corps commander, to 2 corps commanders. I have been with the Assam Rifles. So our troops, when we used to patrol that area, for example, the Home Minister mentioned about National Highway 2. He said it should be open for supplies. That entire National Highway 2 has been well patrolled by our troops, by road, by vehicle, by air as well. So the very fact, it's very, very painful. Now let me tell you this, as per what I get to gather from my friends in Manipur, the father's Kuki. So when the father, the bodies have not been handed over to the father also as yet. The father's too scared to, in fact, come out and go and claim. Imagine the pain one would be undergoing as parents, the father, as relatives, forget about immediate family. I mean, I feel the pain sitting over here where I did not know this family. I feel connected. So I can imagine the pain of everyone. I can imagine the pain of Mr. Bhagat Oinam over here. I can imagine the pain of my dear sister over here who's sitting on the panel. It's really extremely, extremely distressing and disheartening. When the Home Minister went there, yes, it would have made some difference, but the time would tell whether it would actually make some difference. There was a firing incident in Kakshin 2 days back. Kakshin, the entire area of Thoubal, before Palel, in fact, Kakshin, Sorabasti, is well known to me, Uday, and I have spent a lot of my happy days in my childhood over there. So it pains me no end. Now it's very important over here to understand the ethnic affinity because, see, for example, a lot of people cannot distinguish between a Tangkol or who are from Ukhrul, basically, from Shangshan district, precisely that area, who are Naga warriors, or between a Naga and a Kuki. Now, I would like to say, see, the features are totally different there, ethnic sense is totally different there, dressing is totally different, and one should be able to actually know the ethnicity. Here now, the poor thing, the mother and the child, they thought, okay, they're being Meiteis, we will take them there, because they were in a place 15 kilometers from Imphal, and from where their village was, they thought it's mainly a Kuki belt, because the father being a Kuki. Now imagine, it's not about being Meitei, they have not spared. I heard somebody say it is about I would call myself also a Manipuri, incidentally, Uday. Though I don't know whether I'm a Meitei, or I'm a Kuki, or I'm a Naga, I'm a Tangul, I'm a Baite, I'm a Paite, I'm a Pangal. I don't know. I just know one thing. By heart, I feel that I am Manipuri, basically. So this violence has to stop at any cost. Now, will it stop by our appeal? I don't think so. I think I hope it does, but it's a very, very complex situation over here. It's extremely complex because they are certain, the ethnically, they are the Kukis and Nagas, they were both Christians, right? But both were fighting among each other. The Kukis and Nagas were bitter and sworn enemies. I remember in my time, I'm talking about almost 20 years back, they used to torch each other's villages, and hundreds of them would come at night and they would burn their villages. But both of them were Christian, if you come to see. So it's not about Hindu and Christian, it's about the community clash, the ethnic clash, actually. Now, Meitei and Kuki clash? Well, in the Meitei also, like there's a living example. The Hansing, the mother, Meena Hansing, she was a Meitei Christian. And so one has to, even people who are trying to maintain calm over there, have to first understand the background, the history, the ethnicity of inclination, the tribal culture of Manipur is very, very important. Because without understanding the tribal culture, because my friends from the Assam Rifles who are there, we call the Assam Rifles the friends of the hill people, sentinels of the northeast. Assam Rifles ke sipahi desh ki humne shaan badhai. So they spend the entire time in the northeast. The troops are all from the northeast over there, most of them. So now when you understand the ethnic culture, my friends over here would know better what I'm talking about. The very fact is, it is extremely painful for anyone to see this kind of violence. And being a father of a small child myself, I can imagine the pain. I can really, it hurts me here in Uday. Imagine being Tonson's father. It is extremely, extremely distressing. And my humble appeal and prayers to the Lord Almighty, please bring peace to this beautiful state of Manipur with beautiful people. Where else will you get floating islands in a lake, Lake Loktak? Where else? I mean, you'll find such hospitable people, the best people, the most cleaner, the best of friends, the cleanest of hearts. I can vouch with conviction, are my friend from Manipur, in fact, Uday.
Yes, let me in fact quickly take that across to some of our Manipuri guests then joining us. Bhagat Oinam, quickly coming to you, what do you make of this fresh round of violence, and what is the way forward, Bhagat Oinam? Has the Home Minister's outreach worked? Is this peace accord helping, or is this truce short-lived?
This is extremely unfortunate. No sensible person can, accept such inhuman act. I'm really surprised that from within the community of the Meiteis, they could do this to a family, to a mother and a child. I mean, this is just unacceptable. Having said that, this also is going on community line so much that this lady who is a Meitei and father being a Kuki is also seen as an extension of the Kuki dominance or something like that. So the othering has gone so strong, which is unbelievable. And before a few days, if I'm not mistaken, there was a case. I was asking this, why such a thing has happened, to some of my colleagues and friends. And they say that one Meitei boy, young boy, was caught by the Kuki insurgents. And after a few days, he was found, hands and legs broken down, eyes taken out, stomach and everything cut, and it's equally inhuman. But having said that, one inhuman and two inhuman acts does not equalize. The pain is the same. So if the other is barbaric, does not mean that you have to be barbaric equally. And this is a typical tribal mentality that if you do this, I will also do that. So this has gone deep into the mob psyche, which has to be stopped. And I think the Chief Minister must come out, and sensible civil society groups from the Meitei community must come out and say that enough is enough. Not in this way. Not in this way.
Yes, Gladys, if I quickly bring you in here, Gladys, on what you make of this, this fresh round of violence, who you would possibly hold responsible, and also, do you believe that this bit of a truce is going to be short-lived, or is this peace accord now going to have long-reaching and far-term implications?
Like everyone said, that violence is never a solution. Killing each other is not going to lead us anywhere. We all know that how much painful it is. Mentioning about this boy and a mother itself is beyond, anybody can tolerate. And also, I don't think so on a personal front. I may be wrong, but coexisting together with the Meitei, I don't think it is possible. Not because I don't want peace, not because I don't want us to smile again, but imagine in Imphal Valley, no Kuki house, no Kuki's old house were spared. When your house burned, you have nothing. All memory is gone. All photographs gone, certificate gone. And in fact, a small fight can last how many generations? But this level of hatreds, where the place of worship are not respected, 200 plus churches burned down in a matter of 2 days. My point is, how come this lasts till today? If the state failed, how come central government is not doing anything? This is my point. We want peace, yes, but just by saying peace, it's not going to happen. My concern is if the state of a particular state cannot look after, we still have central government. If we really want peace, if we really want fight to stop, if we really want someone killing each other to stop, I think central government has to step in a larger scale, in a bigger way. That's my understanding. Yeah.
Yes, Major Mohandarisha, quickly bring you in here. There has been, of course, this peace accord that was signed. While the Home Minister was in Manipur, there was an outreach to multiple communities that has obviously led to some sort of peace, some relaxations. But violence has not ended. Obviously, we cannot let our guard down. What then further will we have to do in the next few weeks and 2-3 months?
Right, Uday. Firstly, I really commend and appreciate my Meitei friend over here, Mr. Professor Bhagat Oinam, and my sister from the Kuki tribe over here. I think both of them have given very, very sensible, very, very balanced, and very, very mature stance. And my sister, she said, you observed my sister spoke out of love and compassion only. She didn't speak anything out of hatred, but she spoke because the wounds are so deep. The wounds are so deep for both the communities that they would feel, both the communities, not just somebody from Kuki tribe said that, or somebody from the Meitei community said that. The wounds are so deep that they feel it would be now very, very difficult for them to coexist together because they perceive each other as a threat. They feel that God knows what's going to happen next with them. So I say no. I still am an optimist. I would say not all is lost. I know it's very, very difficult, easier said than done. And by saying that peace will return to Manipur, it's not that simple as I said earlier. I hope, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, I really hope and pray. It distresses me, it really saddens me no end when I see my Kuki friends asking for a separate state because they feel they are not protected and their rights have not been protected. They would be protected elsewhere. One thing I would like to also at the same time clarify, when this incident happened, it happened in Imphal, where there's a place called Airo Semba area, which falls under the Lamphel police station. So there were some rumors apparently of them, and there were 3 vehicles, I'm told. One was the ambulance, and there were 2 other vehicles. And the other vehicle was, they were the police, the state police were escorting them, and they were taken to a club, and they were kept there. And later on, all one could find from the ambulance was nothing but remnants, but bones. That is such a gruesome story that I was told. Now, the very fact that when the wounds are so deep, and one feels that, it will be very, very difficult for them to coexist together. If France and Germany, who were bitter enemies, could become friends and bury the hatchets. And today, both the countries, international, they're not even in India. They're so away. It's so far away in Europe. And they are booming in the economy. I'm still being an optimist. I say that friendship between the two, between the Kuki tribe and the Meitei community can once again, hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed and praying to Almighty, it can be done when there's a will. When there's a will, there's a way. So now the very fact, because the wounds are so deep, and one more thing I would like to clarify that the Assam Rifles personnel, apparently they were not even escorting them. I wish it would have been that would have been the case. Assam Rifles is working 24/7. My colleagues are working 24/7, and let me tell you one thing, Uday. Uday, I would like to convey through your means, through your channel, to everyone who's listening to me, who could be a Manipuri, who understands Manipuri. I am not talking about Meitei or Kuki or Naga or Tangkul. No, Manipur, I Nanganungshe. So, I actually love Manipur. I feel a deep sense of bonding with them. I told you earlier. Now, the very fact, how does peace come in? Peace will come in when both the leaders from both the communities will sit down and they will talk, because by dialogue, baat se to baat aage badhegi.
Yes.
Bullets and wounds that, see, I have been in the midst of gunfire. I have been in the midst of insurgency. Where the guns are blazing, my gun blazed too as well. I'll be very, very honest. But instead of firing bullets from a gun, I decided to win their hearts and minds, and so that when people would see me in uniform, they would feel the army.
Yes,
is
Bhagat, let me draw back in Bhagat Oinam and Gladi Wi-Fi on what now further you expect from the administration in the state and also the centre. How do we ensure this ceasefire, these talks continue? What more would you need for conducive negotiations?
See, one thing first, before I come to that. First point is the violence. Now we are in that mode of passion, of anger, the hatred that is overtaking our psyche. So when you see at community line the stories and the vision of the victims, so when a Manipuri sees how a Meitei has been killed or tortured or rendered homeless, they get angry over any possible Kukis. So is the case with the Kukis when they see their brothers and sisters in a very difficult situation because of the burning down of the houses in Imphal, and they are either in Kangpokpi or Churachandpur. So the anger against the Meiteis intensifies. And all that you see today is this multiple, ripple of anger and hatred that is happening. So the same voice is somehow lost for the time being. But if you look back to history a little bit, 10 years or 15 years back, Meitei and Kuki class has resulted in more than 380 lives. We don't know about it. Today, Kukis and Meiteis are supposedly together within this larger issue of the Jalengam Kuki movement. So I'm not trivializing the pain, the death, and the homelessness. But I'm saying that these are not irreparable. There is always time will heal. But for now, somehow the state has to come in and stop the violence. So far as the state missionaries are concerned, I'm sorry Major Shah is here, but the Assam Rifles has been strongly criticized by the Meitei communities.
Right.
And Kukis have...
I want to get, then let's get the Kuki response. Gladi Wi-Fi, what further would you expect, as a conducive atmosphere for these negotiations and talks?
Let me finish the point.
No, sir, I'm afraid I'm running out of time. Gladi, quickly, a quick word to you. Then I need to get in Major General Kochar as well. Gladi Wi-Fi, your response.
What's the question? Can you repeat it?
Okay, I think we've lost your connection. Major General Kochar, come in here, sir. Major General Kochar has joined us late. Let's allow him also a word. Major General Rajan Kochar, on this fresh round of violence, which obviously shows that, we cannot let our guard down. There has been some progress made through the Home Minister's visit to Manipur recently. But what further, Major General Kochar, should be done, both security-wise and through further negotiations between the communities to ensure that there is long-standing peace and not just short-lived in Manipur?
You are absolutely right. Ethnic discord in communities cannot be resolved in a day. A certain amount of patience from both sides have to be there. and there has to be intent from the government side. So far the intent has been shown. The Home Minister has already visited, and after that there was a certain amount of reduction in violence. People came forward and also surrendered the arms also, and we saw that happening. Now this kind of lack of trust between the two communities cannot be resolved so soon. So the first step is that the state government has to strengthen its machinery. The central government, in terms of Assam Rifles and other forces, have to be brought in larger numbers, I feel, because right now the numbers are not sufficient to provide security to the groups who have been collected in a particular place in camps. We are aware in Assam Rifle camps, people have been given the shelters, but then the security of the movement of these people to and fro from the camps has to be ensured. And we have seen in the incident in which this small family has been burned to death, very unfortunate. So that amount of secure environment has to be given. The next step is that all the main leaders have to be brought on board. They have to resolve it amongst themselves. You see, there can be arbitration from a particular government side or an interlocutor who is acceptable to both the tribes, both the communities. So there is a need of an interlocutor to actually come in now, who understands both the tribes very
Point taken. We will, of course, continue these discussions on Manipur. For the timing, though, we've run completely out of time. I have to take a short break. Thanks to our guests for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.